My name is Stephanie, here with you in the Valid Music Studio, joined now by our special guest this morning. We got Annie DiRusso and Eden Joel. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you feeling after show night last night?
Good.
Excellent.
That was not supposed to be a loaded question, but
Better than ever.
better than ever. That's what I like to
Tip-top
hear.
physical condition this morning.
I'm feeling the same. I was at the show, so I am,
Yes,
right
yeah.
alongside with you. Well, maybe slightly less, but
No, you're right there.
anyway,
right there.
changing the subject. We are super excited to have you guys in today. Annie, it is your album release day.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The debut album, Super Pedestrian, out now. You brought your guitar player, Eden Joel, with you, who also opened the show last night, which was phenomenal.
Thank you.
So
much
yeah,
fun.
I guess want to start. How are you feeling with album out now?
Feeling very excited. I mean, we were kind of recapping in the car ride over here. We made the record a year ago. We finished it a year ago tomorrow. And it's so special that it's kind of out in the world now.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels surreal. Also, my Instagram's broken right now, so I haven't really been able to understand it yet from the outside perspective.
The global impact.
I haven't. The global impact hasn't
Hasn't
kicked
quite
in for me
soaked
yet.
in.
But once my Instagram's up and running, I'm sure I'm really gonna feel it.
See all of the posts about it. I feel like this is one of those things that it happens, and whether or not Instagram is functioning or not, it's probably a little hard to feel all of it at one time.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I definitely want to keep talking more about the album, the show, everything, but I did want to see if we could get a couple songs this morning. So you want
We
to
would love that.
kick off with one? What do you want to start with?
We're gonna do a song called "Wearing Pants" again, and yeah, I mean, this was one that Rust and Kelly and I did for the record, and we wrote it on a summer day, and I think it's kind of a different song for me in a way that I really like.
Cool, great. Wearing Pants with Annie DiRusso on Lightning 100.
Started wearing pants again. Body is awake, but my brain is dead. Flies on the walls, gunshots over East Park. Find them when they fall, covering my backyard. Started picking up again. Left for the last song, can't see how it ends. He's a shark among men. He kissed me in the kitchen, break I'd never been. I'm drunk and I don't listen. No. I love pain as it's settling in. I went to your show. God, I wish that I didn't. Love the sound of water as it's swallowing me. Hate the way my new room smells. Keep picturing the guy who just moved out. Did he drink and piss the bed? Did his girlfriend hate him? The air is thick and gray from burning all the sage, and I can't see. I love pain as it's settling in. I went to like the way they fit.
Lightning 100. That is Annie DiRusso live here in the Valid Music Studio, wearing pants again from the brand new album Super Pedestrian, which is out today. You guys are both like shrugging, like that was great.
That was the first time, actually.
That was our first time doing that, y'all.
I mean, actually, it's really funny because you'd be surprised how often people come in here and there is like some like first something. Like I've had a lot of like first time trying to play something acoustic in here, and like everyone's always like, oh no, that was the first time. I'm like, no, it was great. It was perfect. I loved it. But it was also great to see you playing that one live last night at the show with Rustin, who you wrote that with.
Yeah,
and
it was really sweet.
so I want to, also the show last night was great. And also
Thank
just
you.
the energy in there was so good. Like, I feel like everybody was just ready for that show.
Yeah, it was really, really sweet. We were kind of talking about that. Like, the crowd was awesome.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes Nashville crowds can go back and forth, but
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
last night it was like people were like ready to, move, and like it was really, really exciting to see them react to the new songs.
Yeah, and I feel like the ones people knew, they were like ready to scream, and the
knew,
ones
yeah.
they didn't know, they were just as enthusiastic for, and that's so fun. Also, a sold out show, so like congrats on that, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was really sweet at the end of Ovid when I did that guitar, like mouth guitar solo.
Oh, yeah.
You hear like a few of the people in the front went, they were like, ah!
The gasps.
I was like,
There were
wait.
some major gaspers last
Oh,
night.
yeah, there were some very
That is such a
reactive people in the
genuine
front.
reaction. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really sweet.
I mean, you really couldn't ask for much better than that. But yeah, so tell me a little bit about like writing this album. I think you mentioned on stage last night, at least if I was understanding correct, like you do not co-write a ton, or I think you mentioned that when we were talking about writing with Rustin.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I co-write very often. I mean, I think that means something different in Nashville than it means
Well,
in other
yeah,
places.
definitely.
I probably co-write more than a lot of people in other places, but in Nashville, it's a huge co-writing city, and when I'd never co-written before getting here, and then when I got here, it was kind of like the thing to do. It's like, instead of hanging out with someone, you're like, oh, and let's write soon.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, no, let's not. Let's hang. Because to me, it can be really hard, especially like when writing for myself, to try and like, break into something without really knowing somebody. So the people I find myself writing with, I like tried the Nashville thing like my first year or two here, like doing a bunch of writes, and I was, making bad stuff, and it was not like a fulfilling thing to me in terms of how songwriting feels for me. And I kind of figured out that the people I love to write with are just like my really, really, really close friends.
Which makes sense because
Yes.
like songs are so personal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of times, like Eden helped write a lot of the songs on the record, and my roommate, Caroline Culver, like two of my best friends in the world. And a lot of times they'll have like a perspective on the situation that I don't even have, like they're like,
As your best friends.
yeah, like I'm too close to the situation. They're like exactly the right distance
They're like, let
away
me
to be
tell
like,
you how this
so
actually looks.
what's happening, which, is like really helpful. So I don't co-write a lot, but I do co-write a lot with people I love.
Yes, I understand what you mean. Yeah. Well, and I know you also mentioned like you came back from a like very long stretch of touring and dove into like your Party July, which by the way, love that.
Yeah, thank you.
And then like it sounds like a lot of the writing came out of that. So did you kind of like set out to write an album, or was this more just like you're doing your thing and suddenly you're like, oh, this is an album?
So I set out to write an album. I kind of knew it was time because this is my first album, and I've been at it for a while of just releasing like not much music.
Yeah, I mean, like I know we first heard you, I think, because we get involved in Belmont's Battle of the Bands every year, and I
Yeah.
think that was when we first heard your
Yeah,
music.
which was
was
like
probably
2020.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And that I had like a few songs out at that point, and otherwise I just released an EP, and I was touring, as I was saying, for so long, and I was playing my full discography every night on tour because I like had no other option.
Yeah.
It's like, when I first started touring, I opened for Samia, and it was like a 40-minute set, and it was like, how am I gonna fill this?
You're like, what am I doing with 40 minutes?
Yeah, it's like, because I think I had like maybe 4 songs released at the time, so it was like half unreleased stuff. But I was like, okay, it's time to make a record at the end of this 2 years of touring, and like it just was like the way that I guess the cookie crumbles. But I tried not to go into it because that was very daunting for me. I'm like a slower songwriter, and the EP that I had done before that was like honestly like pulling teeth to write a bit, because I was on the road while writing it, and I felt myself pulling from a lot of old things that had
I
happened
can
to
imagine
me.
that's really hard, like being on the road and trying to,
Well, because you're never alone,
right,
you know?
yeah.
And you're like in the van,
And
with
it's just always
people.
going.
Yeah, you're always going, and also you're not. There's like you can write only so many songs about driving through Texas, you know. So
And Texas does enough of that on their own.
Exactly. No, exactly. And so I was pulling from things that happened to me when I was like 16 or 20 to write that EP. And I love that project, but it is dark and it is like retrospective, I guess. And I was really scared to write the record because of that, but I had this time off. And so I did Party July, where I didn't even worry about writing when I first got home. And just like honestly living life and being in Nashville and being 23 and learning how to live like a day alone again, kind of made the writing come much more naturally to me than it ever has, which
I mean, boredom is so valuable.
it is.
And not even to say that
is.
you were bored, but like just the downtime. Like
No,
the
like going on
slowness.
walks alone. Yeah. And then like just like hanging out with people, honestly, and like going out and doing things and experiencing things. It was just like the songs just like were there. I had so much more to say than I did before.
It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We were like meeting a couple times a week to like work on stuff or whatever. And then every week she'd be like, oh, I just wrote this new song. I was like, oh, that's the greatest song ever. It's like the best song of all
Over
time.
and over and
yeah,
over.
okay, cool.
Yeah, we locked in in the fall hardcore, me and Eden, and started ripping some demos. So
That's
it was
so cool.
summer of writing, then a fall of demoing, and we just ended up like, you know, ripping together.
That's amazing. I mean, that's so
Unexpectedly.
cool when it just like comes like that.
Yeah, the whole record honestly just felt really natural like that. It was like, okay, these are the songs, and I like Eden helped me buy a bunch of
I find,
he didn't
was like, where are we going?
He took me to Guitar Center and he told me what to buy for like to set up my
very cool Nashville thing to do.
Yep.
Let me take you to Guitar
You
Center.
know, tell you what to buy to like for like recording gear, so I could do some of my own demos. And then I did like a demo of Legs,
Can you
and
not say that?
like take that out of
Yeah,
the.
we'll cut that.
This is live.
this
We
is
can't
live.
cut anything.
And basically, then I like made this demo of Legs, and then I was like, Eden, can you come over and cut bass on this? And he came over. He's like, wait, this is sick. He has like drums and stuff set up at his house. He's like, let's go back to mine. And then we just like spent 3 days straight working on
It was in my bedroom
Yeah.
at the time also.
Yeah, we were just in his room for 3 days straight, terrorizing his roommates, like
my
making
God,
this. But it
yeah.
was this feeling of like, oh my gosh, we're addicted to doing this, and it
That's
just
the
felt so.
best.
It was kind
That's
of
so
the best
cool.
thing
Really
ever.
cool.
Also, just to like ease your Guitar Center thing, I do feel like people secretly go to Guitar Center way more than they admit in this city. So I'm
They
just
do.
throwing that out there.
They absolutely, because if you need
You
something
gotta go.
in a
Yeah.
pinch sometimes,
Like, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, it is tough, and you know, I hate to be going there, but there's times I
You
go.
know.
You know.
There's times I go.
If you're willing to like penetrate the wall of pretentious
Yeah.
dudes.
yeah. I always have to kind of bring like a guard with me. It's like Eden.
Hey,
Like
you
the-
never.
yeah.
It's like I said, I think it happens more than we like to admit. But anyway, I'm so happy to hear that it all came out like that. And then Eden, you kind of played like all over the record, right? Like
Yeah.
it was like more or less the two of you, as far
it
as
was
I understand.
just the two of us
It
that
was
played on the record.
two of us
yeah.
playing. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's
It's just kind
great.
of crazy.
2-man band.
2-man band. whole
Yeah, but
lot
you
of
guys are
love.
clearly like so close and like tour together and play together and all this stuff. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like great art comes out of collaborations like that. So
It was really, really, really special.
It was like so fun, and like Caleb Wright, who produced it, and Alex Farah. It was like we were just literally laughing the whole time.
Yeah, we spent a week in February and a week in March at Drop of Sun in Asheville. And me and Eden came with like a bunch of demos already.
Yeah.
And then the 4 of us, just us two, Caleb and Alex,
Just
made the
ran
record.
around.
Alex engineered, Caleb produced. but he remained objective.
So
He didn't
fun.
play anything.
Yeah.
And he is kind of the perfect person for us to work on the record with. He's like the most beautiful soul guy in the world. I know. We love him so much.
Yeah, he did Samia's album too, right? Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I could talk to you guys like all day about this, but we are unfortunately like winding down on time.
So we're gabbing.
So do you want to do one more song for us?
Yes. I'm just going to
Okay, and while you're tuning, I can tell the people that you are going to be out at Vinyl Tap today for an album listening and album signing at 3 p.m. I did see on their website that they are saying for this one, to guarantee entry, you must pre-order the album. So head over to their website, vinyltapnashville.com, for all of that. And we're going to get one more song this morning from Annie DiRusso, and I'm going to keep vamping as she tunes.
See, now
Keep vamping. Keep
my
going.
job, you're getting my job.
I know,
from
this was you
night.
last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was honestly though, the tuning on stage thing I think always feels far worse to the person doing it than it does to the people in the crowd.
I know I felt pretty calm during it, but I was just like, how could my guitar be this?
What I'll say too is that I kind of stepped up to vamp a little bit myself.
did. You
and
did. You did a great job.
I did not do a good.
What word did you talk about?
I was just saying stuff. Like I was
You're
just
like, let me get in there. Let me get in there.
I was like, yeah, whatever.
I thought you did great.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
This is a song called "Back in Town." It's gonna sound really sad when we play it acoustic, but it is kind of a fun little pop song.
It
so
is a
check
little.
it out.
It's a bop on the album.
Yeah,
but
it's yeah. Okay. Swore I would take to my grave the fact I changed my flood out of Chicago just so I'd see you one more time. Met you at that beach you love on the north side. You told me your friend says I've got pretty eyes, but you don't tell your friends you text me all the time. And now you're somewhere in Idaho, letting me down again. Yeah, I know, I should know by now. I heard from a friend you're still sleeping around, but give me a call when you're back in town. I wanna give you my all when you're back in town. When you're back, you're back. 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 I hope you don't think I'm just waiting around, but give me a call when you're back in town. Oh, I keep sending you books I know you'll never read. Guess it's all I can give, that's not all of me. Wrote some stuff in the margins I hoped you might see, but they just sit in your room where I'd kill to be. I've never been in your room and it's killing me. When you're back, you're back. 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 I hope you don't think I'm just waiting around, but give me a call when you're back in town.
give me a call when you're back in town. Wanna call you up just to see where you're at. Saw it in your eyes that night the train was packed. You know I'd be your girl if you would only ask. Don't tell me everything, just tell me when you're
Annie DiRusso live here in the Valid Music Studio, back in town. Another one from the brand new album, Super Pedestrian, which is out today. A masterful on-the-fly radio edit also, by the way. I'm so sorry that we all started laughing.
Yeah, that was a giggle. That was a giggle.
But thank you guys so much for coming in today. This was super fun.
Thanks for having us.
Love
So
the
fun.
new album.
Thank you.
Go check it out, everybody. And yes, you can pre-order your copy, vinyltapnashville.com. I say pre-order. I mean, it's out now, but they say pre-order if you want to be guaranteed a spot into the signing today at Vinyl Tap, which is at 3. Okay, thank you guys again.